to WWE Wrestling Bros. Today it is going to be me, Canadian Yorker, who is doing the recap of Monday Night Raw, and we are on the road to SummerSlam, which is going to be occurring in about a couple of weeks or so from now. So, guys, before we get started, I just want to let you know that my associate and my partner in crime, Boone Steele, is out of town for this week because he had to go on vacation. So I will be covering Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown for this week. And myself and Boone Steele will be returning to do our SummerSlam predictions next week when he returns from his vacation. So without further ado, guys, we're going to be going into our WWE results from Monday Night Raw. And so this article that we're looking at is from WWE Raw, WrestleReview.com. I will be posting the link to this article in the comment section below for everybody to catch up on when you get a chance. So don't be afraid to do that. So Monday Night Raw took place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and opened up with the ring general and confronted by Damian Priest. So the ring general Gunther, he was the winner of the 2024 King of the Ring. He walked down to the ring, and he is going to be challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. So this is going to be an exciting matchup. It's going to be a toss-up. We're going to see who's going to be the one who's going to be claiming it all, the World Heavyweight Championship, whether it will be Damian Priest who's going to be retaining, or Gunther, who will be the new World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. So Gunther gets into the ring, and he wants to clarify himself because last week he took pot shots at Damian Priest and definitely called him some words, saying he was some things that he was not. Gunther takes some time to reflect on things that he said to Damian Priest. Gunther reverses course and says he meant every word he said last week. Damian Priest and everybody in the locker room are bummed. Gunther, he understands what is at stake and what is nearest and dearest to him. What is nearest and dearest to him is his reputation, the prestige and honor of this great sport that's wrestling, and the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, so we have that right here. Damian Priest is continuing to be talked down by Gunther. Gunther knows that Damian Priest's friends on the Judgment Day, and he calls the Judgment Day he calls them all street trash. Okay, so Gunther actually decides to give Damian Priest an offer, and he invites Damian Priest to come out to the ring and definitely hear what the offer is. Alright? Gunther invites Priest to come out here, lift the weight off his shoulders if he is not fit to carry, and he wants Damian Priest to give him the championship. And after that, Damian Priest can go home and live in his trailer park home that he is. Damian Priest, after hearing everything that Gunther says, comes out onto the ring, and he comes down to the ring. He gets in the ring with the microphone in hand, and he did, without even saying a word, punches Gunther in the face. And right after that, they start throwing back and forth. And then the refs, the WWE security, get involved. Priest kicks Gunther down and starts to attack security. And then Priest grabs one of the security guards and throws them over the rope. Alright? And they go at attack each other again, but they're pulled apart. Priest break free and attacks Gunther on the ramp. Okay, so that is what happens between Damian Priest and Gunther. Damian Priest and Gunther certainly have no love for each other, certainly do not like each other at all. And Damian Priest and Gunther definitely don't need to say any more words, because SummerSlam is right around the corner. SummerSlam will be on August 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen when the things go down and who's going to be the biggest, the winner to get the World Heavyweight Championship. Moving on, we have the number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title. This will be the person who's going to be challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. And we have Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker. I believe last week Drew Steele mentioned that Dragunov and Sami Zayn were both fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, but Braun Breaker got involved, and that would stop the match between Dragunov and Sami Zayn. So Dragunov and Braun Breaker have a match to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental title. The winner will face Sami Zayn at the WWE Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. Right when the bell rings, Braun Breaker sidesteps a big boot from Dragunov and grabs a waist lock. Dragunov elbows him and chops his chest, but Braun Breaker doesn't sell it. Braun Breaker hits a waist lock takeover and punches away at Dragunov before Dragunov rolls out of the ring. Braun Breaker follows him and continues to punch Dragunov while challenging anybody to hit him back. Braun Breaker puts Dragunov, sends him back into the ring. Dragunov greets Braun Breaker with forearms to the face before hitting the ropes and smashing Breaker in with a knee to the head. Dragunov chops Braun Breaker in the corner. Then Dragunov puts Breaker in another corner and chops him again. Breaker forearms him and hits him with an uppercut, but Dragunov responds with a boot to the face, knocking Breaker to the apron. Dragunov goes to the apron and attacks, but Breaker unloads on him with right hands. Dragunov cuts him off and lifts him up, but Breaker powers out of it. Dragunov clubs him, but Breaker goes to another apron. Dragunov grabs him to the ring post, but Breaker bounces his face off the turnbuckle, and that stuns him. Breaker stands on the bottom turnbuckle and goes for a suplex to the floor, but Dragunov blocks it. Breaker, however, powers him up and delivers a front suplex onto the top of the ring post. Dragunov falls to the floor, clutching his ribs. Okay. Breaker applies a bear hug to Dragunov's ribs. Dragunov gets out of it. He fights and jumps, but Breaker catches him on the shoulders and delivers a gut buster for a near fall, which Dragunov breaks out of. Okay, Breaker tries to set up a powerbomb, but Dragunov counters with a DDT. Dragunov gets to his feet, chops Breaker again. Both Breaker and Dragunov get into a brawl, where Dragunov rocks him with a strike combination, and Dragunov tries to set up a enziguri that knocks Breaker into the ropes, but Dragunov, because he had injured ribs, he can't follow up with it. Breaker hits the ropes, but Dragunov boots him. Dragunov ducks a clothesline and connects with a Constantine press special. Alright, this is a pretty exciting match that happens right here. Dragunov gets himself fired up and chops him in the corner. Dragunov bounces off the top turnbuckle and chops him again. And he chops him again. And then Dragunov sets him up with a powerbomb, but his injury to his ribs does not allow him to lift Breaker up, which Breaker fights out of. And then Dragunov tries to he slaps him in the face, and he tries to hit him with a power bomb and tries to get him in the cover. 1-2, Breakker counts out. So we're gonna just have to jump forward here. Breakker rolls to the apron. Breakker and Dragunov are in pain. Dragunov follows him up to the apron, lifts him up before hitting a Death Valley driver on the apron, but Breakker falls to the floor. Dragunov dives off the apron, but Breakker spears him out of nowhere, and Dragunov's head hits off the LED apron. Breakker gets in the ring, and he does the count, and for the 1-2-3, Ron Breakker is the winner of. He is the number one contender and will be challenging Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. For the Intercontinental title. So we have an official. We have Ron Breakker versus Sami Zayn Part 2 at SummerSlam, and we're gonna have to see how interesting this is going to go going forward, because Ron Breakker is going to get his rematch, and we're going to have to see how Sami Zayn is going to contend with Breakker as the Intercontinental title is on the line. Best of luck to these guys. Moving forward, let's go. We have Rhea Ripley. Well, this is a backstage segment. Rhea Ripley walks in, and she tells the Judgment Day, stop playing video games. Rhea Ripley just gathers the Judgment Day together, wants them to stop playing video games. Rhea Ripley tells them that they have lost Damian Priest for the night because he is focused on his title, and the Judgment Day, must focus on their World Tag Team title because Rhea Ripley, is going to be focused on her Women's Tag Team Champion, her Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. Okay, Dominic Mysterio wants to have a chat with Rhea about reconnecting, all right? But he doesn't want her to be messing around with Jey Uso on social media, all right? And Rhea Ripley counters by saying she's only messing around with Jey Uso because she's messing around with him, all right? Unlike what Dominic Mysterio is doing with Liv Morgan, because Rhea Ripley had definitely been paying attention to what she's doing with Liv Morgan. Finn Balor pops up, and he happens to mention to Dominic that he needs to handle his business with Jey Uso once he needs to take him out. Okay. Rhea Ripley mentions that Jey Uso they don't need to worry about Jey Uso. But Finn Balor happens to say to Rhea he doesn't understand why Rhea Ripley is sticking up for Jey Uso. Okay? And Rhea Ripley just mentioned again, there's no need for that Judgment Day to go after Jey Uso. Okay? And Rhea Ripley tells Dominic to just think about it, use his head, okay? But Finn Balor is he's egging Dominic Mysterio on by saying, Dominic Mysterio, you gotta do what you gotta do. And that leaves Dominic confused. That's just a backstage segment, guys. Let's just go on to the next match right here. Lyra Valkyria with Kaden Carter and Chance versus Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. We have a 6-women tag team match right here. Alright, so all the ladies, the bell rings. Sonya Deville and Lyra Valkyria both tango in the ring. Sonya Deville powers Lyra to her corner. Lyra Valkyria powers out, so Deville knees Deville knees Lyra in the midsection, and that takes some air out of her. Valkyria slaps her in the face and goes for the takedown, but Deville fights it. Valkyria powers her to the corner and hits her with some shoulder thrusts. Valkyria blocks a boot. Deville reverses a whip to the corner, but Valkyria slingshots over her and does a cartwheel. DeVille charges Valkyria, trips her, and hits a basement drop kick for a 1 count. DeVille quickly gets out of her corner to regroup. Valkyria hits the ropes for a diving missile drop kick, but Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark pull DeVille out the way while Valkyria injures her ribs, and then DeVille slams her into the barricade. Okay. Going forward, we see Valkyria attacking DeVille on top rope. DeVille clubs her down, but Valkyria repositions her legs. She climbs to the second rope and tries to do a suplex, and Valkyria executes the suplex, but she can't continue because she has injured ribs, and Valkyria punches DeVille from her knees, but DeVille punches back and knees her in the ribs again before hitting her with a big kick to the chest. Valkyria dodges a running knee, and then she hits a big kick. DeVille avoids the Nightwing, but Valkyria comes back with a big combination and connects with a Northern Lights suplex for a near fall. Continuing, DeVille slides off and attempts to advocate, but Valkyria gets out. Valkyria lifts her up with a gut wrench, and they're frozen for a few moments before Valkyria shouts, "Let's go." DeVille lets go of the Valkyria's legs, and Valkyria hits a sit-out powerbomb for a near fall. Valkyria gets up in the midsection and heads to the top rope, but Shayna Baszler gets on the apron to distract the referee. Zoe Starks pushes Valkyria from the top rope, which leads to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance attacking Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark at ringside. DeVille pushes Chance off the apron. Stark takes out Carter. Valkyria hits Baszler with a diving missile dropkick onto Stark. DeVille then grabs Valkyria and hits the Advocate for the win, which leads us to our winner being Sonya Deville, with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark winning this matchup, and what's going on with that going forward. Alright, so Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler have been on a run for some time now. They've been getting this push going forward. We're going to have to see how it happens, what happens with them going forward. Alright, continuing, we have the return of the one and only CM Punk, who is coming back into WWE Raw. CM Punk has a big announcement, and what he has a message that he has to say. CM Punk, he wants to stain. He has his message that he wants to put an end to Drew McIntyre. He wants to stain his shoes with the blood of Drew McIntyre. Okay, that he got a message from his surgeon and his doctors that last Saturday that he is medically cleared, and he is finally going to get his pound of flesh to get Drew McIntyre. He calls Drew McIntyre to come out and get what he deserves. But Drew McIntyre does come out, and Drew McIntyre looks like he is ready to finally get in the ring with CM Punk. However, he stands out there in the back. Drew McIntyre slowly walks on the stage, and he looks really pissed off at CM Punk. And CM Punk's definitely wanting him to get in the ring with him because he's putting on his wrappings. Okay, he's wrapping his hands with tape. But Drew McIntyre says he's been waiting for this for a long time. However, he cannot do it because he is still suspended. However, Drew McIntyre tells Punk to control his emotions. He tells Drew McIntyre that he wants him to turn to his family because he took something that is important to CM Punk. He took out his bracelet that he stole to CM Punk. Alright? And Adam Pearce comes out, and Adam Pearce mentions to CM Punk that CM Punk is medically cleared. He mentions to Drew McIntyre that Drew McIntyre is reinstated and he is ready. He can definitely wrestle again. Adam Pearce makes it official that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are going to be facing each other at SummerSlam. Okay, but he doesn't want them to lay a hand on one another, because if they both of them do lay a hand on one another, they will be disqualified and suspended from SummerSlam. They will not be able to face each other. Okay, so continuing with that, Adam Pearce mentions to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre that there will be a special guest referee, and who would that be? The special guest referee will be Seth freaking Rollins, who comes out and he announces to both Drew McIntyre and CM Punk that Seth Rollins is going to be the special guest referee at SummerSlam, and that's going to be the way it is. Okay, so Seth Rollins is going to be the man who's going to be the special guest referee at SummerSlam, and we're going to see this matchup right here between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins being the special guest referee. So that's what's happening with that, guys. Continuing, we have interesting situation that happened. Continuing, I just want to kind of skip the backstage segments. World Tag Team Champions, so JD McDonough and Finn Balor are walking with Dominic, Mysterio, and Carlito. Carlito tells them that they have to split apart in order to divide and conquer. Carlito goes with McDonough. Finn Balor tells Mysterio to go another way, and he'll go another. Mysterio continues walking, but when he is confronted by Liv Morgan, who tries to talk to him, Liv Morgan continues to try to talk to him, but Mysterio follows him around. Okay? She tries to convince her. She tries to tell him that she knows how Rhea Ripley is trying to make him feel, and she tells him not to worry about last week. Alright? Mysterio says he and Rhea Ripley are back in perfect sync. Okay? And then Liv Morgan she tries to talk to him, and she tells him goodbye. Alright? So apparently the Judgment Day were looking for Jey Uso, but they couldn't find him. Alright? So that's what they were just looking for him right there. Continuing on, we have a 6-man tag team match between Akira Tozawa, Xavier Woods, Otis, and Maxine Dupree versus the Final Testament. Alright? So, continuing, so we've had some situation going on with the Final Testament and the New Day. The New Day, Kofi Kingston was taken out by the Final Testament, and so it's only been Xavier Woods versus the Final Testament. So Xavier Woods is going to be facing off his match against Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross sidesteps Xavier Woods and tags Rezar in. Woods attacks Rezar, but Rezar grabs Xavier and powers him to the corner. Woods sidesteps an avalanche and chops Rezar. Rezar shoves him to the corner and tags Akam in. Akam kicks Woods in the midsection, and Rezar clubs him down. Akam clubs Woods back and sends him into the ropes. Woods ducks a pair of strikes and hits a running forearm. Woods tags Akam and tags Akira Tozawa in. Tozawa is just celebrating his 39th birthday. He just turned 39, by the way. Happy birthday to you, Tozawa. Tozawa gets Akam out of the ring and boots him away before hitting a super quick suicide dive. Tozawa gets in the ring, gets his shirt off. We see that Akam, when Akam gets back in the ring, Akam actually starts dominating Tozawa. Tozawa fights back, but Akam shoves him into the ropes and hits him with a back elbow and tries to pin him for a 2 count. Karrion Kross tags in and kicks Tozawa. Kross whips Tozawa to the opposite corner. Tozawa tries to counter into a springboard crossbody, but Karrion Kross catches him and hits Tozawa with a nice spinning flapjack. Kross stomps on Tozawa's ankle and punches Woods off the apron. Tozawa boots and kicks Kross back before dropping him into the middle turnbuckle. Otis tags in and runs over Cam and Cross with 2 clotheslines. Cesaro gets involved in the ring, but Otis gets under a clothesline and hits Cesaro with another clothesline. Otis avalanches a Cam into the corner and takes his jacket off. The crowd is going wild. Otis is a big hometown favorite from Wisconsin. Otis gets a caterpillar elbow drop and does a huge elevation, but Karrion Kross comes in and rocks Otis with a forearm. Woods tags in and hits Kross with a missile drop kick. Cesaro takes out Cesaro with a double crossbody block to the floor. In the ring, Woods unloads on Kross with punches before kicking a Cam off the apron. Kross takes out Woods with the final prayer, and the final testament gets the win. Okay? Continuing with that, after the win from the final testament, Akira Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine Dupree are standing in the ring by themselves, and they are confronted by their former mentor, Chad Gable, who is there with the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus Creed. Xavier Woods has to leave the ring. Chad Gable comes in the ring with the Creed brothers, and he's standing in there with the Creed brothers and the Alpha Academy. The crowd chants at Chad Gable that he sucks, but he ignores the crowd. Gable, he wants to offer something to help his protection for the Alpha Academy. Otis is the new leader of Alpha Academy, but his decision was to team with Xavier Woods, and Chad Gable says that that's the reason why they lost. Chad Gable says that Otis is not using his brain, because using his brain is not his strong point. He mentions that if it wasn't for Chad Gable, that Chad Gable is the reason Chad Gable is better, because he recruited the Creed brothers, a couple of fine athletic freak professional athletes, and the Creed brothers are there. They basically fill in for what the Alpha Academy was that they didn't have any weaknesses. Chad Gable offers the Alpha Academy an opportunity to join himself and the Creed brothers. Okay, Gable offers them to come back and join his team, so that they can also have protection from the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six is after everyone on the roster, and so they get extra protection. Otis asked Gable if they would give the Creed brothers the same protection he did last week. Gable ran off and left them in the ring to save himself from the Wyatt Six. And Otis rejects Chad Gable's offer, and Gable says that it's pathetic, and they stand, Otis and Maxine Dupree stand with Otis because they support him. Chad Gable, he says that it's unfortunate and orders and has the Creed brothers attack Otis and Tozawa. However, Otis powers out and hits Creed brothers with a clothesline. Otis grabs Gable for the world's strongest slam, but the Creed brothers are there to stop Otis from world slamming Chad Gable to the mat. They triple team Otis before the Creed brothers sent Otis into the ring post shoulder first. Otis falls to the ringside. The Creed brothers attack Otis outside the ring, and they set him to the apron. Gable hands them a steel chair. However, smoke fills the ring. The lights go out. Smoke fills the ring, and Uncle Howdy comes out and attacks Chad Gable from behind and hits him with a vicious Sister Abigail. So Chad Gable and the Creed brothers are viciously attacked by Otis and Tozawa. However, the Riot Six come out for the save, and Uncle Howdy takes out Chad Gable for that. Continuing with our next match, we have Big Bronson Reed versus Pete Dunne. Last week, Sheamus defeated Big Bronson Reed. However, Pete Dunne did save Sheamus from being attacked post-match. But then Pete Dunne himself actually attacked Sheamus with a tsunami. And so, in this match right here, Sheamus actually attacks Pete Dunne with a running knee to the face, and Sheamus gets involved. Sheamus attacks Pete Dunne, and Sheamus gets involved. Sheamus gets into a brawl with Big Bronson Reed. Reed lifts Sheamus, but Sheamus rocks him with a running knee to the face. Sheamus sends Dunne to the apron and hits the 10 beats of Bodwin. Sheamus rips his shirt and celebrates. Sheamus goes for a brogue kick on Dunne, but Dunne gets out the ring. Sheamus hits Reed with a brogue kick instead. Sheamus interrupts. So basically, Sheamus interrupts the match between Bronson Reed and Pete Dunne, and the match didn't even start yet. So, continuing with that, it looks like we may have a triple threat match going on between Bronson Reed, Pete Dunne, and Sheamus. We're going to have to see how things progress with that situation right there. Continuing, we have one of the biggest highlights of Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley calls out Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley comes out to the ring, and with Dominic Mysterio, of course. Rhea Ripley comes down the ramp. She shoves Dominic Mysterio out the way, and she learned earlier that Liv Morgan had met up with Dominic Mysterio. She is not happy that happened, and Rhea Ripley is going to battle Liv Morgan for the title, for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley comes out to the ring, and she tells Liv Morgan, if you want Dominic Mysterio, come and get Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan's music hits, but she is not in the ring with Rhea Ripley. She actually comes out and from the backstage, and she comes out and she's in the crowd, and she says, hello, Rhea and Dom. She comes out. She's not going to come into the ring. And unlike Rhea, he says she has self-control. Morgan's waited for her all this time so she could wait until SummerSlam. The reason why Morgan came out was because she wanted to confess her feelings to Dominic, which she does. He said she has feelings for him. Morgan says Dominic also has feelings for her. However, Dominic Mysterio appears to look like it's true he has feelings for her. Morgan says that gorgeous men like Dom don't go for girls like Ripley. Gorgeous men go for girls that look like Liv Morgan, which makes Rhea Ripley so angry and irate that Rey Mysterio wants to hold Rhea Ripley back. Mysterio pulls her back into the ring, and he tells her that Dominic will take care of this. Morgan asks the crowd to let everybody hear what Dominic has to say. Daddy Dominic has to say. Morgan knows that what he's gonna say, she feels the exact same way. However, Morgan wants Mysterio to say 3 little words to her. Mysterio asks if she wants to hear those 3 little words. Mysterio says, instead of "I love you, Liv Morgan," Dominic Mysterio says, "I hate you, Liv. Are you stupid? Are you deaf?" And Dominic says that Liv Morgan has ruined his life over and over and over again. And he shouts her out in Spanish, with Rhea Ripley standing behind him smiling. He rejects Liv Morgan, and that makes Liv Morgan cry, and also makes the crowd boo Dominic Mysterio. Okay? Alright, Mysterio is elated and holds the ropes open for her. Mysterio walks off arm in arm with Rhea Ripley in a happy ending, you could say. However, we're going to have to see what's going to be happening with that. Continuing forward, we have the next match happening between Zelina Vega versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville, happening once again. Zelina Vega rolls up for the 1 count. Zelina hits the ropes and goes for a head scissor takeover, but Zoe Stark powers out. Zelina shoves Zoe Stark into the corner and kicks her down. Stark blocks a kick and attacks Zelina's injured arm. I believe last week, Zelina Vega's arm was injured by Shayna Baszler when she kicked her really hard in the arm and it injured her arm. So Zoe Stark stands on the arm and goes for the knee drop, but Zelina Vega avoids it. Zoe Stark drops her onto the ropes and punches away at her. But Zoe Stark grabs the arm, but Zelina tries to fight out. Zoe Stark takes her down and shoulders her into the apron. Vega elbows her in the ear and drops her into the turnbuckles. Vega hits the running knees and climbs to the second rope, but Stark cuts her off. Vega knocks her away and goes to the top rope, but Stark pulls her off and snaps the injured arm off the top rope. Vega falls to the ringside in tremendous pain. You see Vega counter into a suplex inside cradle for a 2 count, but Vega boots her back and sends her into the apron. Stark comes back with a springboard missile drop kick for a 2 count. Stark applies overhead wrist lock, but Vega fights out. Vega kicks away at her and hits an enziguri. Vega connects with a satellite DDT before getting fired up. Vega goes to the top rope and connects with a moonsault for a near fall. She also goes for a code red, but Stark gets out and super kicks her for a 2 count. And Stark is absolutely irate that she can't put Zelina Vega away. However, Zelina Vega rolls Stark into the middle rope, but Sonya Deville gets on the apron to distract the referee. Shayna Baszler trips Vega. Lyra Valkyria, Katana, Chance, and Kaden Carter come out and take out Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville. That frees up Zelina Vega. Frees up Zoe Stark to actually go for a power bomb, but then Zelina Vega hits Zoe Stark with her arm brace, and then Zelina Vega hits a cold win for the win. Zelina Vega, is the winner in this matchup. And so this is interesting that Zelina Vega is going against Zoe Stark and Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. So you have to see how that situation goes. Zelina Vega is a fighter. She's definitely been fighting a lot. Okay. With that, going forward, you have the backstage segment. Adam Pearce is on the phone and he needs to hear Xavier Woods comes to him and tells him that he needs to face Karrion Kross next Monday on Raw. And so Adam Pearce says that he's going to make sure he's going to pull some strings to make it happen, and he makes it happen. So then Drew McIntyre follows up and walks into the ring and talks to Adam Pearce, telling Adam Pearce that he is not happy that Seth Rollins is the special guest referee for the match on SummerSlam. McIntyre says that this is not fair. He asks, how is it is fair? Peace. Adam Pearce says to McIntyre that he will be in the ring with CM Punk and Seth Rollins next week. Seth Rollins will give them his referee's instructions, and Pearce tells him he just has to deal with it. Alright? Continuing, going forward, it looks like we're going to have to see what is going to happen with that. Alright, we have our final matchup of the night. A non-tag team match between the Intercontinental Champions Sami Zayn and main event Jey Uso versus the World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough, along with Dominic Mysterio and Carlito happening. So Finn Balor is going to be starting against Jey Mysterio. They both lock up before Finn Balor applies a side headlock. Jey Uso whips Balor off, but Balor responds with a running shoulder tackle for a 2 count. Balor elbows him in the head and puts him in the corner for a shoulder thrust. Balor sends Uso into the corner, but Uso slingshots over him and punches him down. Uso avalanches him into the corner and hits a sidestep enziguri for a 2 count. Sami Zayn tags in and attacks Balor's arm. Balor begs the Intercontinental Champion off, but doesn't work because Sami grabs him and Balor powers him to the corner. JD McDonough tags in and kicks Sami Zayn down. And so it's Tide's turn. McDonough elbows him in the head and sends him into the ropes. Sami Zayn springboards over him and hits a clothesline. Sami Zayn puts McDonough into the corner and attacks him. McDonough quickly pulls Sami into the middle turnbuckle. McDonough hits a snap bear and punches him. McDonough drops a leg for a 1 count. Quickly, McDonough punches Jey Uso off the apron. Sami Zayn clotheslines McDonough over the top rope and sends Balor out next to him. Sami Zayn then takes them both out with an Arabian press. Dominic Mysterio quickly approaches Sami, but Rod Zapata backs him up. Carlito sneaks up behind Sami Zayn and sends him headfirst into the ring post. Continuing, you see that the referee backs up Finn Balor, and JD McDonough gets some cheap shots in, but Balor stomps Sami Zayn and tags JD McDonough in. McDonough stops Sami from making a tag with Jey Uso and connects him with a back press for a 2 count. McDonough stomps Sami's hand and applies a front face lock. Sami Zayn fights to his feet and hits McDonough with a back body drop. McDonough immediately tags Balor in. Balor stops Sami from making a tag again and picks up a 2 count. Balor punches Sami away and stomps at his chest. Balor elbows Sami in the head and he doesn't get a count. Balor shoulders Sami in the corner and tags McDonough in again. McDonough chops away at Zayn, but Zayn fights out. McDonough cuts him off and sends him into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. However, Sami Zayn takes McDonough out with a Blue Thunder Bomb. Uso and Balor both tag in. Uso hits Balor with some right hands, desperation, and floors Balor with a punch. Balor reverses the whip, but Uso kicks him and hits him with an uppercut. Uso hits an enziguri and gives one to McDonough as he runs in. Balor and McDonough are down in opposite corners. Uso hits McDonough with a running hips attack. Balor drops Uso on the apron, but Uso knocks him down. Uso comes off the top rope with a diving crossbody for a 2 count. Uso sidesteps up Balor and charges, but Balor knees him. Balor hits the ropes and takes the eyes out of the Samoan drop attempt. Balor connects with a sling blade for a near fall. Balor puts Uso in the corner and calls for McDonough. Balor punches Uso and hits a snap there. McDonough tags in and hits a slingshot moonsault for a 2 count. Sami Zayn, who's just going forward here. Sami Zayn and McDonough tag in. Zayn hits McDonough with an exploder suplex in the corner. Carlito distracts the referee. Mysterio grabs Zayn's ankles. McDonough hits Zayn with a Spanish fly for a near fall. McDonough slaps Zayn for a few times and kicks him in the midsection. Uso blind tags in. Zayn boots McDonough, and Uso and Zayn hit a 1D. 1-2. Balor breaks up a pin. Continuing. Balor sends Zayn out of the ring and tags in. Uso fights off Balor off and uppercuts McDonough. Balor drops Uso with a sling blade and sizes him up. Uso goes for a woo drop kick, but Uso takes him down. Uso uses punches. Carlito off the apron. Apple bits fly everywhere. Mysterio and McDonough also taken out. Balor then hits Uso with a woo drop kick. McDonough tags in. Balor hits Uso with a coup de grace, and McDonough follows up with a rope moonsault. 1-2. Sami breaks it up. Sami sends Balor over the top rope. Uso knocks McDonough down. Sami immediately hits him with a haluva kick. Sami takes out Balor, Carlito, and Mysterio with a somersault senton. In the ring, Uso hits McDonough with a Uso splash for the win. And the winner is Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, who defeat the Judgment Day for the win. Unfortunately, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso celebrate, Uso poses for the turnbuckle, and he does. Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere and hits Sami Zayn with a spear, and comes out of nowhere. And Jey Uso is not too happy about that, to see Sami Zayn get taken out quickly. Alright guys, so that is it for Monday Night Raw. We had a lot of action happening that they're on the stage. This is all set up for SummerSlam. The road to SummerSlam continues. We're going to see some really amazing matches going forward, and hope to see you guys in the next video. So don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Can't wait for Friday Night SmackDown, and I'll see you in the next one. So have a great day.